All right. Hello, hello. Okay, good. Good on Instagram. Checking out Facebook. Okay. I think we are good on both channels. Hi. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, come on in the room and, as usual, introduce yourself. Let me know where you're from. Let me know what grade you're in if you are a student joining us today. And let's see, last week you told me some good things you were reading. This week I'd love to know, what is the weather like where you are? Because where I am last week, the weather was so awful. It was cold and dreary. But this week, while people are coming in the room, let me know your name, maybe, what grade you're in, and what's the weather like where you are. Now, this week is much, much better. We've got sunshine and we are getting warmer temperatures, so I'm really excited. So make sure you let me know all of those things in the comments. All right. Hello. Oh, yeah. See, we've got some friends from Nashville. Oh, Texas. It's nice and sunny. I'm so jealous. And we've got a fourth grader. Hi, Carlene. Warm. See, you guys should feel really lucky that the weather is so great there. Hi, Brian from North Carolina in second grade. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited about this book. If you are still kind of coming in, if you've ever heard of Dr. Temple Grandin, like hit the hearts. Let me know if you've ever heard of Dr. Temple Grandin, because we are going to be reading all about her today. And we're going to be talking about some nonfiction. All right. Oh, good. Oh, gosh, almost all of you guys have had really nice weather. Well, I am jealous. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started today because I'm really excited about the book that we have to share. And we're going to be talking about nonfiction. Now, I believe Mrs. Cap yesterday shared a story, and she was talking about different nonfiction text structures, if I remember correctly. Yeah? Oh, good. Okay, yes. And so she was talking about how when an author writes a book, they can organize the information in different kinds of ways so that when we read it, if we kind of know those different kinds of ways that authors can give us information, it can help us to understand it better, right? So if we know the setup or what the author's trying to do, then we can get into that text and we can really take it apart and get what we need to get today. So today's lesson kind of piggybacks off of that. When I was watching Mrs. Cap's lesson yesterday, I was like, oh, this is perfect, because I had already planned on doing a little lesson with something called literary nonfiction. Okay, so that's a big term. Can you say at home, and I want to hear you say it out loud, say literary, right, literary, very good, and then say nonfiction, which I'm sure most of you guys all know what nonfiction is, right? That's true. Okay, so let's look at our information chart here today. It says, what is literary nonfiction? And I'm going to stop there because if you don't know, if you're new, maybe this is your first week, we always provide whatever I'm showing you will be made available to you as soon as the live is over. Typically the link will be in the description at the top of the video or somewhere in the comments, okay? Or you can visit the Get Your Teacher on Instagram. I just put a swipe up link there so you can grab these and you can do the activities later. And so here we go. So this is what is literary nonfiction. It says, nonfiction writing is based on real events or topics or people, okay? This kind of writing gives us facts. Everyone say, that's the facts. Good, okay. So facts are things that can be proven true or false, right? So we can prove that, you know, whatever the information is there, we can say, oh yeah, that's something that we can prove, or that's something that really happened, okay? It's not a story. It's not something that, it's not like a poem or anything like that. Like these things are typically things that are real, right? Okay, so then what is literary nonfiction? Let's think about that. What is literary nonfiction? Well, this says literary nonfiction also contains facts, okay? But it's a little different. It's usually written to entertain the reader. Oh, I can think of so many books like that there's real information in there, but it's written in such a way that it's kind of fun. It's entertaining. So this says, it often reads like a story or a poem. Okay. So it might sound like a story. It might sound like a poem. Okay. But really there's information in there. There's facts in there. Okay. So let's see. It says we may need to read closely and extract the facts. I like that. Can you say that? I want everyone to say, extract the facts. Say it with me. So good. Extract the facts. So it says we may need to read closely and extract the facts from literary nonfiction, because there are some books that are nonfiction. And if I was at school right now, I could pull a lot of books out and I could say, oh, here's a book. And some of those books just read like information. It might be a book about like horses, and it might say horses have manes and horses eat grass, and they just say the facts, right? Doesn't really sound like a story, doesn't really sound like a poem or anything like that. They just give us information. There might be a diagram or a picture, and it's just information. And that's just a good nonfiction text. But we've learned today that sometimes the author can give us a book in a different form that's a little more entertaining, which brings me to today's book, because today's book is definitely great information, but it's written like a story, okay? This is called The Girl Who Thought in Pictures, the story of Dr. Temple Grandin. All right, look at that. You see how she's thinking? Instagram will show you. I love how the front cover shows this must be Dr. Temple Grandin, right? And then she's got all these pictures coming out of her mind. The author is Julia Finley Mosca, and it is illustrated by Daniel Riley. And if you flip it over to the back there, you can see her on a horse. That. All right, and then here, this is Dr. Temple Grandin too, and she's next to a cow. So I think we can infer already that she really likes animals. So if you don't know anything about Dr. Temple Grandin, buckle up, because this is a fascinating story. Okay, here we go. The Girl Who Thought in Pictures. Look at that. Now remember, it's always important, every single page that you turn to, don't ever just open a book and start flipping and say, where are the words? Like, you should take some time and really look, because it's usually going to set you up to understand the story. All right, there's our title page, The Girl Who Thought in Pictures, the story of Dr. Temple Grandin. Oh, what a beautiful dedication too. It says, for every child who's ever felt alone. Oh, I love that. Okay, here we go. I'll try to show you some pictures first and then I'll read it. If you've ever felt different, if you've ever been low, if you don't quite fit in, there is a name that you should know. Temple Grandin's the name. In her tale, you'll find glory. So get ready, get set for this cowgirl's true story. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. Oh, look at that. You see that little baby in her crib? And then she's watching a top spinning. Okay. In the city of Boston, on a hot summer day, a sweet baby was born. It was Temple. Hooray! Unique from the start, an unusual girl. She loved spinning in circles and watching things twirl. Oh yeah, then she would like a top, because a top, you can spin it on the table and it'll twirl for a long time, right? Oh man, look at that. She's covering her ears. But something she hated, like certain loud sounds or bright colored places, large cities and towns. Frilly dresses with tags, made her itch and pull and tug. Something else that she really hated, a big squeezy hug. Oh man. Oh, so she did not like to be hugged. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Looks like she might be throwing a tantrum there. You see that? She's stomping her feet. And we see things all over the floor. It says, a shy loner, this Temple. But when she got mad, when her feelings of stress and frustration got bad, quite a tantrum she'd throw. Kick, holler, bang, shriek. Yet still, by age 3, not one word did she speak. Oh, wow. So she didn't say any words. When she was 3 years old, she didn't say any words. Wow. Oh, look, that sign right there says doctor. And we can see from the illustrations that she's at the doctor's office. It says, she'll never be normal, was what some did say. Her brain not quite right. You must send her away. Away? Not my Temple, her mother proclaimed. We will figure this out. You should all be ashamed. Oh my goodness. Don't mess with mama, right? She told them they should be ashamed because she didn't want to send her baby away. And she said, we'll figure this out. All right. I see those pictures starting to pop up. Then, little by little, though sometimes she balked, special teachers helped Temple. And one day, she talked. And that thing with her brain, it was autism, see? She was different, not less. They all finally agreed. Like most kids her age, she loved ice cream and art. But the way Temple thought was what set her apart. If something was mentioned, for instance, a fly, in her mind, she'd see dozens of photos fly by. Oh yeah, look at all those images of flies. When somebody mentioned flies and her brain would see a bunch of pictures. Wow. When the time came for school, well, let's just say that was hard. Kids taunted and chased her all over the yard. Oh, that breaks my heart. They picked on poor Temple, how crazy it drove her. They teased her for saying things over and over and over and over and over. Oh, look, and this says, look at her. Oh my gosh. And I know everybody watching this story knows that that is not a kind thing to do. There's paper flying at her. That must have made her feel really sad. Until finally she snapped. Yes, she did. She lost her cool. She threw a book at a kid and was kicked out of school. No one really got Temple, but well, then again, the truth of it was, Temple didn't really get them. You need some time away, said her mom. That's what's best. You'll go and visit your aunt on a ranch way out west. Okay. She's going to go visit her aunt for a while. Way out west. And guess what? Fitting in on a farm was way less stress, since the pigs didn't care if her hair was a mess. Quite a sweet spot she had for the cows in their herds, such big, gentle beasts who knew nothing of words. As she watched her new friends, a thought popped in her head. These cows think like me, in pictures instead. Oh my gosh. Look at that. So she realized the cows thought like she did in pictures. At a new school that fall, Temple found more support and a teacher who taught her, you'll never fall short. When you find what you're good at, like science, you'll soar. And that teacher was right. He had opened the door. Oh, look, she's building this rocket ship. So she built a machine like she'd seen on some farms, an invention that hugged her with boards and not arms. It worked. She had done it from memory, it's true. And just like the cows, it made Temple feel calm too. Well, do you see that? So she was thinking about how those cows were put in this little situation right here where they could be squeezed on both sides and it made them feel calm. So she made one for herself and it made her feel calm as well. Wow. I'm special, she thought, like a bright shooting star. My attention to details could help me go far. Through her study, she learned there were farms not so kind. I will help them, she said, some solutions she'd find. Oh, look at that. She's thinking about the cows. Look at this. And how the cows have to walk. And look how they run into each other here. And where they need to go. Okay, let's see what she does. Oh, and look, before I turn the page, look at that cow. It's probably hard to see, but there's a teardrop there. So she must be thinking about how some of the cows were feeling really sad. And then something cool. Can you guess? Could it be? Off to college she went. A degree? She earned 3. And though ladies weren't experts on farms at that time, do you think that stopped Temple? No way. She did fine. She stepped through that door and went forward. No tears. She took on the world, but at times she had fears because some things were scary, like people she'd meet who would ignore her ideas and, well, wouldn't be so sweet. Oh, look, she's thinking again. She's got the cows here. Oh, and look, she's drawing some plans. I see a ruler. Oh, yeah. Okay. But she never gave up. Learned her stuff through and through. Like why cattle will circle and what makes them go moo. To build better farms, that was her goal. She would do it. Be kind to our creatures because they have feelings. She just knew it. Oh, look at that picture. Oh my goodness. That looks a lot like that plan she was drawing. So she must have built this. Wow. And slowly but surely, she changed many minds until farm after farm built her awesome designs. The word spread about Temple. Her feats, not so small. Temple Grandin? She's grand. She's the grandest of all. Look at this book. I'll read the title to you. It says Livestock Handling and Transport by Temple Grandin. So that means she must have written a book. Wow, isn't that fantastic? Look at that. Oh man, I see airplanes and the world. Okay, let's see. It says, now, for these things and more, she has won honors and prizes, and a movie was made. But the biggest surprise is that a girl with the future that couldn't be bleaker. Yes, that once silent girl, she's now a big speaker. Today, she spreads hope with her stories and speeches. From New York to Sydney to Rome, Temple teaches. Each person is special. So unique are our minds. The world needs your ideas. It takes brains of all kinds. Oh, that just makes me feel so happy. Because she's right. We do need brains of all kinds, especially yours, right? So here's the lesson. Feeling odd or offbeat? Being different might just be what makes you so neat. Don't let doubt hold you back, not for 1 minute more. Stand tall, like Temple. March right through that door. Oh, and look, there's a real picture of Temple. I'll get as close as I can so you can see it. See that? And maybe, just maybe, if you talk to your parents, maybe you guys can look up some more information about Temple Grandin. But she left a letter. I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Dear reader," well, that's me and that's you. So she says, "As a child, I was really glad that my mother always encouraged my ability in art. I encourage you to find something you are good at and work on developing it. If you are interested in becoming a scientist like me, find cool new ways to look at things, such as microscopes and telescopes. Go out and explore nature. Think up your own hands-on experiments. Keep learning, especially from your mistakes. Temple Grandin." Isn't that fantastic? And then in the back, and if you're a teacher that's watching and you don't have this book, I definitely recommend getting the book, because then at the back, there's fun facts and tips from the author's chat with Temple. So the author of this book talked to Temple, and there's all these really cool stories and facts that you can share with your class. And yes, there was a movie. If you've ever seen that movie, let me know in the comments if you got to see the movie from Temple Grandin. And then look at this, boys and girls. That's called a timeline. You see how there's a line going in the middle here? And then there's years. Like 1947, that's when she was born. So it's just her little baby picture, right? You see that? And then it goes through her entire life, and she's still alive today. And so you can see all of the different things that she did during her life, which is pretty cool. And then there's just information at the back about her. So now that we have read this book about Dr. Temple Grandin, let's remember our lesson for today. We were talking about how in literary nonfiction, it might read like a story. Did that read like a story? Hit the thumbs up, hit the hearts if you felt like that read like a story. I definitely do. And it rhymed, which is so cool because we learned all of this really great information, and the authors were so clever about putting the words together in a way that made it rhyme. So it kind of sounded like a poem maybe, and it definitely sounded like a story. Was it entertaining? Sure. But did it teach us facts? Absolutely. So what I have for you, if you would like to, I've got a picture of Dr. Temple Grandin up here. And there is a flip book that you can download if you would like to and make. But if you don't download it, guess what? It's okay. You can still extract the facts from what you remember from the story. So I've got some questions here. This one says, who? Okay. This one says, what? And the last one says, why? Okay. So let's see here. This says, the girl who thought in pictures. The story of Dr. Temple Grandin. So it says extract the facts. So when you flip up your book, the first page is all about who. So the question says, who was the focus of the book? So what can we pull out? Who was the focus when we're extracting our facts? Who is the focus of this book? You can write it down or you can tell me out loud right now. Yep, very good. Dr. Temple Grandin. That's exactly right. And then it says write. And it says, what did you learn about this person that will stick with you? You can draw and you can write about it here. Okay, let's look at the next one. The next page says what? And the question says, what makes Dr. Grandin's way of thinking special? And you can draw and write about that as well. Or you can tell me right here, why do you guys think? What was so different and special about the way that her brain would take in information? How did she think? Right? And here's a clue right here on the front cover if you forgot. So you can draw a picture and you can write about that. And the last page says, why did Dr. Temple Grandin have such a strong connection to those cows. When she went to go stay with her aunt, she realized something that changed all of her work going forward. Why did she have such a special connection to those cows? Okay. And then the last question says, why was Dr. Temple Grandin's work so important to the farming industry? How did she help all of that, all of the livestock and those cows and all the animals? She did some really special work to help them. Okay. So again, after this video, if you would like to do this, and then you can color her and you can staple your book, and you can always remember all of the cool things that we learned about Dr. Temple Grandin. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday afternoon, and we will see you. Get ready if you're doing ClassFit. You need to get ready because it's about time to get your workout on, and we'll be back with another live literacy lesson tomorrow. All right. Bye, everyone.